And I think it's beautiful that we have today a clip. We've been given special permission to show a clip exclusively to our viewers from that video series. And I just think it's beautiful. So, Father Joe, why don't you introduce that first clip for us?
I'd be happy to. This first one highlights how St. Faustina and Father Sopoćko, their roles in spreading divine mercy around Poland. And then in a later clip, we'll see how it went out to the whole world. And as you watch, you'll not only get a sense of the excellent quality of this production, but also how you too can become an apostle of the divine mercy in our time. So let's take a look.
Let's now trace how that mission expanded from Faustina and Poland out to the whole world. St. Maria Faustina Kowalska died at the age of 33 on October 5th, 1938. Then, less than a year later, on September 1st, 1939, the terrible war that Faustina had foreseen and warned others about came crashing down on Poland as the Nazis invaded and occupied the country. Now, it's hard to overstate the death, destruction, and devastation that World War II inflicted on Poland. Out of a pre-war population of 35 million people, 6 million of its citizens were killed in combat, or in most cases, murdered outright. That's an 18% casualty rate, the highest of any country during World War II. Poland also became home to many of the Nazi death camps during the Holocaust, the vast majority of whose victims were God's chosen people, the Jews. And so the wartime violence and bloodshed in Poland was unprecedented. As those who survived put it, it was hell on earth. One of the survivors was St. Faustina's spiritual director, Blessed Michael Sopoćko, a diocesan priest. Now, before the war, Father Sopoćko had been personally touched by God's mercy and deeply impacted by Faustina's message. So out of his own financial resources, he created booklets and prayer cards bearing the Divine Mercy image and the words of the chaplet, litany, and novena, which he spread throughout all of Poland. St. Faustina first saw some of Father Sopoćko's prayer cards and booklets about a year before her death. In a passage from her diary, she describes what happened.
When Mother Irene showed me the booklet with the chaplet, the litany, and the novena, I asked her to let me look it over. As I was glancing through it, Jesus said, "Already there are many souls who have been drawn to my love by this image. My mercy acts in souls through this work." I learned that many souls had experienced God's grace.
A few months later, Faustina wrote a letter to Father Sopoćko, which said the following:
People have started buying them, and many a soul has already obtained God's grace which flows from this source. They are being purchased by those who are attracted by God's grace, and it is God Himself who acts here. Our congregation has already purchased enough of them. Mother Irene distributes these holy cards and the booklets. We have even decided to hand them out at the gate. Mother Irene gave as many as 50 booklets to one of the Jesuit fathers who goes on missions all over Poland.
I have to say the conditions here are unlike any that we've ever experienced on Eden Hill. We're trying to do this in the middle of a snowstorm, yes. But the Lord is pouring out the graces in different ways. So did you notice how you could also be an apostle of divine mercy? St. Faustina, along with Father Sopoćko, started out distributing divine mercy images and prayer cards and pamphlets. And guess what? You can do the same thing. Father Serafim Mihalenko often points out that divine mercy and the devotion, the message, is one of the fastest growing grassroots movements in the history of the Catholic Church. It's been countless lay people doing little things to make the message known.